Hello, hello. Welcome to this week's weekly reading. It is Tuesday, May the 5th, and I have two messages for you, and you just have to feel in if message one or two is calling you. If both are, fantastic. This card is for message number one, and this card is for message number two. If that just kind of helps you in feeling into your intuition to see which one you're being called to. Just know this is a collective reading, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Parts of it may resonate really strongly and parts don't, and we don't dismiss the whole thing because of that. It just means that the parts that were meant for you is the ones that you feel it. You're like, ooh, that gut feeling. That's it. So message number one. So message number one, I received the energy or the message that maybe some of you have tried something and it failed, or have tried it multiple times, but it just, continues to not work out. And maybe you're taking that as a sign that it's not meant to be, or, if it's meant to be, it would be easier. If it was meant to be, it would happen. So I'm just going to leave it as is. I even feel the feeling of some of you that maybe you're somebody that kind of you try something, and then if you mess it up or it fails, it's one of those you just give up. One of my sons, it is like that, where it's kind of fine, I'll give it a try, and then it doesn't work out, and it's see, I can't do it, and then just throws it away and walks away see, I can't do it, and I'm dude, it was one time. I'm let's come back and let's try it a different way. And that's what it kind of feels like Spirit's saying is to not just give up, that if there's something that you are working on, or is there something that you have tried multiple times and it just didn't work out, that not to just give up on it, but to think of it a different way, to look at it a different way, that maybe the way you're doing it is the wrong way, but the actual thing is meant for you. They're even showing me an example of somebody that's trying to quit smoking and been I've tried 100 times and I've never succeeded. So what's the point? Or even when they go to try again, the energy there is already kind of expecting that it's not going to work because the proof is in the pudding. It has never worked. So it's kind of they're wanting you to pay attention to that and to kind of reflect on it, to be okay, why didn't it work? What's kind of the holdup? And to approach whatever it is a different way. The card that I pulled was Roots of Abundance. And what I received, because at first I was what? That doesn't really fit. And I'm what do you mean? But then it was they were showing me that there's whatever it is that you have attempted, or maybe you feel you can't succeed in it, or whatever it is, it feels the moment you kind of get over that hurdle, the moment you kind of change that perspective, change the way you do it, it's all of it. There's going to be obviously abundance, but it feels they're showing it is going to work. It is going to be amazing. It is going to work. So you need to just keep trying. You need to try it a different way. You need to take a step back and kind of look at it a different way. Okay. It also was showing me the roots kind of in one, they're hidden, so we don't know what that's going to look like. And because we don't know what that's going to look like, not to get stuck on it looking a certain way type of thing, when I feel I'm talking in code, and I really hope you're picking up what I'm throwing down. But it's kind of you may imagine something in one way on how it unfolds, but the same type of outcome could unfold, but just a different way. So don't get stuck on it only unfolding this way. I can only do it if I do it this way, because it kind of feels like there's many different ways that the final outcome can come in. But you have to be open to it, and you have to be open to trying and moving into those different ways. And yeah, like it's really neat. So whatever it is, if it's I want to lose weight and it's never worked in the past, it's going to work. Just give it. If it's, I want to quit smoking, if I've, it's going to work, try it a different way, be open to different ways. If it's like, I've tried to do a business and it failed or whatever, be open to trying it a different way and receiving it a different way. Okay. I hope that helps. Message number 2. So message number 2, it was kind of similar in a way. And at first I was like, is this the same message? And then they're like, no, Allison, pull a card. So it was, I like pictured myself like, or they showed me like walking on a beach, like a nice sandy beach and the blue water. And I was kind of like, just a little bit into the water and just kind of like running and flipping the water off with my feet. And then I stubbed my toe. And then it was like, like, oh God, this hurts so bad. And then it was like this feeling of like, God, I hate the beach. And like that over exaggerated of like, I hate the beach. I'm like, I never want to come here again, because every time I go to the beach, I hurt myself. Meanwhile, I've only been once and I hurt myself once, right? That's all or nothing type of, perspective. And again, I can bring it right back to my son, same son, that that kind of is that way where it's like, no, I'm like, I don't want to go bike riding, because when I go bike riding, like, I'm going to fall and I'm going to hurt myself, because it happened one time. And so what the message was really like, you are blocking yourself from receiving something because of, or experiencing something because of, these stories that you tell yourself, these limiting beliefs, these stories that you kind of anchored in, like, no, I'm not good with going on a cruise because, I'm going to get seasick. So like, I can't go on cruises. And then it's like, have you ever been on a cruise? No. This is actually me I'm talking about. I'm like, man, we're just all messed up. But like, that's something, because it was a story that my mom had said of that she was fearful of like, oh my goodness, if I go on a cruise, like, what if I'm seasick? And I adopted that, and it's literally anchored in me. There is a part of me that doesn't want to ever go on a cruise, because I'm like, what if I start to like get seasick and I feel sick and I can't do it? And so then I've just never done it. But now I'm not able to, I'm holding myself back from experiencing something really cool because of a story that I tell myself that could or could not necessarily be true. So that's where it really felt like there's, something that to kind of pay attention to these little stories or these belief systems. And the card, so this is where I was like, is that the same thing as the first one? But then when I pulled a card, I was like, oh, Spirit, you're the bomb.com. So it's this card, and it's letting go of stories, surrendering attachments, releasing unconscious patterns. So it's really like, it feels like there's something hidden or a story, or there's something that, so just holding you back from experiencing life in a different way. And just to maybe sit with that and try to reflect on what that could possibly be. Or just be mindful when things come up, that if you have like a knee-jerk reaction or response to something, maybe just kind of pay attention at that to understand, like, is that how I feel, or is there something deeper to it? So I hope that is helpful and I didn't talk in circles, and have a great one. Bye.